Hey guys, this is Games Motion, German Atlas Reactor player, 500 hours game experience and high tier participant in Season 1. I made a little ORS tutorial for you about the basics, strengths and weaknesses, mods, opening tips and positioning tips, and hope it helps you mastering ORS and having fun like I have. Welcome to the show!
I'm leaving you a present.
Strengths and weaknesses. The best thing about ORS is that he has his clone, which makes you very flexible. You can use him and do a lot of damage, or you can set him up like a token and do little bit less damage, but with high survivability. On the other side, he has low HP, and if you go risky or do a mistake, you die really fast because you have a predictable dash and this low HP, and he's very difficult to play, so you have to be careful when you play him. That's the other side of the coin. Mods. Okay, let's take a look at the mods. So your standard attack is Phaser Laser. You can aim on the same target with all your lasers, but you can also aim on different targets. And here you have several mods, and I think two are worth it. First one is laser focused, which gives you additional damage per extra laser if you hit the same target, and divide and conquer, which is, well, the opposite. So you have 4 damage, extra damage if you hit only with one laser a target. So here you can do 29 damage if you hit with one laser. This is good if you play some token ORs, but laser focus I think is stronger. Because of two reasons. The first one is it's only 2 mod points and you have much more pressure on a single target and much more DPS, and this can be very strong if you have to duel with someone. Photon spray. So I show you the animation. This is your AoE and it's really strong, not because of the damage. It can do a lot of damage because it does extra damage if you hit the same target with both sprays. But the biggest plus of this ability is that it gains a lot of energy. So tagged here is really great because you can get 2 extra energy per target hit, and this is super strong to gain your ultimate very fast. Zap Trap. So Zap Trap is your area control, and it's an ability which is not that easy to use effectively, so your mod points shouldn't be wasted here until you really use it very often, but most of the time, especially if you are unexperienced with odds, it's hard to set up a good zap trap, and if your opponents are really good, they can dodge it because they move around, so it's really hard, and that's why I took here Dazzling Luminescence, because you have area control and you can slow your enemies so they don't make it to the next cover they aim for maybe. And it's only 1 mod point, so you are more flexible concerning all your other mod points. So made you look. This is your dash, and it's really great because after you've dashed, you can move. So you are not fixed to the position where after image was because you can move, but your next after image is going to the point where you dash to. So you have to think about, do I need the movement after the dash, because then your after images are very close to each other and maybe you lose some influence on the image. Okay, so I think the strongest here is Might Me, because getting Might for the turn is really strong, especially if all your after images can aim on the same target. That's really strong because you even have more pressure on a single target and maybe force them to dash. Shield doesn't do it because if you have to take some shield after you dashed, something was wrong with your positioning. Having haste for the next turn is also strong, but I think not strong as Might Me. And well, the Energizer as well, the power up ORS didn't work. So I tried it, but actually it does work. It's not good. Okay, Catch Me If You Can. Your ultimate and your strongest ability, and your only dash where you can really choose the direction freely where you dash to, and you can choose the position of your after images. So doing your ultimate gives you a lot of freedom, and you can reposition. That's really strong. And the hardest time in a match actually is the time until you have your first ultimate. So it's really strong if you have Welcome to the Show and get extra energy the next 2 turns, because if it's going great for you, you can have the next ultimate 3 turns after you've done the first ultimate. So welcome to the show, really strong, and you have an extra dash faster. Faster than light is also okay, because you have 2 extra spaces where you can dash to, but it leads often to the situation that your after images are too spread and you really lose influence on the match. So welcome to the show is much better actually. Opening tips. In many cases you can see AUS players going turn 1 into the middle and dash turn 2. But this is a really bad play, because good players will just play around you. They just go somewhere to the map where you can't reach them with your token, and then you have bad options. One thing is you keep out until you have your dash. Second option is you go into the match to have some influence, but you have no dash available, so you are an easy target and just have 120 HP, which means you will probably die very fastly. So in turn 1 you should go to a safe place, like you see marked with the arrows. So you have a really good dash position and a safely dash if you are bad positioned the turn after. This is a screenshot from the very same game, but turn 2, and imagine you have gone or walked into the middle. So you have no vision to your opponents. This is a replay because that's why you can't see them, but in the actual game you had no vision to them. And so now you have the one decision, just not to dash, but then they could possibly attack you from the camouflage, or you can dash and then you are out of the game for several turns. So in this case it's much better that you are not in the middle and you are safe and you feel safe here, and you can go on to several places. The very left place is a very safe walk, but also not the most effective, so the other options are better, but I would not go into the middle and not go to the right, so maybe the second arrow from the left side is the best option here. How you walk also depends on the matchmaking. If you are matched against Zuki or Gremolitions, you don't want to stand behind and wait, because they have big one, they have mines, they have everything. So then you should go aggressive. Against Ellie you should also go aggressive, because Ellie wants to come to you, and that's why you don't want to stay behind. Against Pups you can wait, because you have Zap Trap, and in the right turn you could dash and Zap Trap and get them and slow them and hurt them and annoy them. So you have several good options depending on your matchmaking. General positioning tips. Okay, first point is don't stand in a line. So if you and your token stand in a line, your opponents can aim on you and on your token, and even if your dash is available and you dash, they can hit both of them. So you should never stand in line with your token. Second one is a variation, spread AUS and the after image, which means they shouldn't be too close to each other. So it's the same reason. You don't want that your opponents can aim on you and your after image at the same time, just to be safer. Third thing is keep moving, especially when you are matched against Zuki and Gremolitions. Zuki's big one is a really hard counter, especially if your dash is on cooldown. And Gremolitions is also a very hard counter, because he can throw mines on you all the time and you have to keep moving against him, and you have to keep moving unpredictable. And the last one is spread your ultimate. Sometimes it's necessary that you do the full damage and you and your after images have to go through the same enemy. But most of the time you want to spread yourself and your after images, so you can also get much more area control by Zap Trap, or have more possible targets by your photon spray and so on. So spreading your ultimate is in most cases the much better option. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have ideas how to play AUS better than I explained it, just write it into the comments. I'm not a perfect AUS player, and I'm always open for tips or for alternative versions, so we can discuss it. Feel free. I look happily forward to read your comments and say good luck and have fun with AUS. He's a great character. Enjoy him.